Assalamu alaikum students. I am going to deliver the lecture of Unit 12 Class 9th Maths. The name of unit is Line Bisectors and Angle Bisectors, and today we are going to discuss theorem 12.1.2, which is the converse theorem of our 12.1.1 theorem, and then we shall discuss 12.1.3 theorem. Okay student, you have seen that 12.1.2 theorem is the converse theorem of 12.1.2. So before going to this theorem, you must know the definition of a converse theorem. What is a converse theorem? If the given of one theorem is two proof of other theorem and two proof of other theorem is the given of first theorem, then it is called the converse theorem of each other. Okay, you got the student? What is mean by this? You have seen before, when you solve a theorem, you see what is given, what is to prove. So here he has told you, if there are two theorems and the given of one theorem is two proof of other theorem, and whatever the two proof of second theorem, that is the given of first theorem. There will be change of some words in the statement. Like examples are given below. You can see theorem 12.1.1. Any point on the bisector of a line segment is equidistant from its endpoint. It's mean you people have given a line segment is there, a right bisector is there, and any point on the right bisector is also there. And you have to find the distance of this point from the end of line segment, like you have found PA is equal to PB. But in second statement, which is the converse of this, what is this? Any point which is equidistant from the end point of a line segment is on the right bisector of it. In this theorem, why it is a converse of 12.1.1? Because here we have given a point is there above the line segment which is having equal distance to the end point of line segment. We know this thing. This is given over here. Then we can say that point P is on the right bisector of it. So these are known as the converse theorem of each other. Okay student, let us start theorem 12.1.2, which is the converse theorem of 12.1.1. Okay, let's read its statement. Any point equidistant from the end point of a line segment is on the right bisector of it. So let us read again. Any point equidistant from the end point of a line segment is on the right bisector of it. Here, what is a given? Any point equidistant from the end point of a line segment. It means there is a line segment and any point above the line segment is given and it is having equal distance from the end point of a line segment. And right now we have given AB is a line segment, point P is present above the line segment, and distance of that point P from the end point PA is congruent to PB. These all things are given to us. What is to prove here, student? If this point P is having equal distance from the end point of line segment, then it's mean this point is on the bisector of it. It's mean this point is on the bisector of that line segment. Here student, you people can see in theorem 12.1.1, in the given you have given like the point P is on the bisector, and the proof was there, like you have to prove the point P is having equal distance from the end of line segment, like PA was equal to PB in that theorem for the two proof. But here this thing is given to us, and point P was on a line bisector. It was given to us over there, but here we have to prove. Okay, let's move to the next thing, that is construction. In the given figure, we can see what thing can be constructed. We are just going to take any point C in the middle of line segment and then join P to C. Take any point C in the middle of AB and join P to C. Here student, in the construction you people have seen two triangles are formed, ACP and BCP. These two triangles will help us to prove a theorem. How many things were there student? I told you in the theorem there were 6 elements: statement, given, figure, to prove, construction. 5 things we have done over here, and the sixth thing is left, that is proof. In the proof, I told you before, you must remember that we should start from the construction. This step, this point will help you to move your theorem forward. Otherwise, student must, they don't learn it, what is this, and then they don't know how to move a theorem. So here two triangles are there, ACP and BCP, and we are going to take the correspondence of these two triangles. I also told you student before this in the previous theorem, three things are required to prove a theorem accordingly. So here we are again going to see like which things we can take over here. I also told you we should take help from the given and the construction. These things help us to solve a theorem. So here PA is congruent to PB because it was given to us. So we are going to take the correspondence, and we have taken the first thing from the given. PA is congruent to PB. Then student, we can see easily PC is present in both the triangle. So we can take as a common. The third thing what we can take over here. Here student, we can't discuss the right angle at point C over here, because here two proof is this, there must be any right angle on which point P is present. So we can't discuss it here. So what is present over there? We can say AC is congruent to BC. Why? According to our construction done over here. So student, we have taken all three sides here. Now what happened after taking three sides? The triangles which we have taken for the correspondence, we can say that these triangles are congruent. After proving three things, we can say that triangles are congruent. Now which postulate will be followed for the reason? Side, side, side postulate. Why student? Because we have taken all three sides over here. So we are going to follow the postulate side, side, side postulate. After proving a triangle student, what we can do? We can say when the triangles are congruent, it's mean all other remaining sides and angles are also congruent. So we can take angle ACP is congruent to angle BCP. And what will be the reason for this? Corresponding angle of congruent triangle. I also told you before student, this will also help you to move your theorem forward. When two triangles are congruent, we should say that their remaining all sides and all angles are also congruent. Now we can say in the triangle ACP plus BCP, if we do this step over here, we can see that both are giving you 180, a straight line. So the reason can be, yes, both the angles are supplementary. Then we can see from the figure and can say ACP is equal to BCP and equal to 90 degree. From 1 and 2, it's mean when AC and BCP are equal and the sum of these angles is 180 or supplementary, so we can say yes, they can be equal. So that's why we can say they are 90-90. When they are having 90 angle, it's mean line PC is perpendicular to line segment AB, as it is proved. So when it is there, we can say CA is congruent to CB according to construction. So it's mean student, it is proved, it is shown. Therefore, PC is the right bisector of AB and the point P is on the right bisector of AB. So this was student a converse theorem of 12.1.1 where you have seen the given was the two proof of 12.1.1 and its two proof is given of 12.1.1 theorem. Okay, let's start student theorem 12.1.3. Students, if you have done 12.1.1 and 12.1.2 thoroughly with full understanding, then in this theorem you will not find any difficulty because this is related to these both the theorem. Okay, let us read its statement. The right bisector of the sides of a triangle are concurrent. Here one new word is there, concurrent. What is mean by this? It's mean a point where two or more than two lines meet. The point is known as a concurrent point. So here he is saying the right bisectors of sides of triangle are concurrent. It's mean sides of a triangle K. All the three right bisectors meet at one point. They are concurrent actually. What is given here student? Here we have only given a triangle ABC. We have given only one triangle ABC. We have drawn here in front of it ABC and we have given the name ABC. What is to prove here student? The right bisectors of sides of triangle are concurrent. It's mean the right bisector of side AB, BC and CA are concurrent. All three right bisectors of sides of triangle are concurrent. And let's see what is the construction over here. We are going to draw the bisector of AB, BC, which are meeting to each other at point O. In the figure, dotted lines can be seen that we are going to draw the bisector of side AB, BC, which are meeting to each other at point O. Join these O2 vertices A, B and C. Then the required figure is in front of you. Let's prove it, which is very easy, and the remaining two theorem will come over here to help you. If student I take a small triangle, you can see in the figure, inside the figure, AOB, a small triangle inside the figure AOB. Here you can see OA is congruent to OB. OA is congruent to OB. What is reason behind it student? The reason behind it is theorem 12.1.1 statement. What was that? Each point on the right bisector of a line segment is equidistant from its endpoint. It's mean in the construction we have drawn a right bisector of AB which is meeting at point O OA and OB are the distance of this point from the end point of line segment. So we can say yes, OA is congruent to OB. Same case student, if we see any other small triangle inside this, that is BOC, in it OB is congruent to OC. And the reason is written as in 1. You people can again quote it. Since each point on the right bisector of a line segment is equidistant from its endpoint according to our theorem 12.1.1. Then if OA is congruent to OB, OB is congruent to OC, then from these two reasons we can also say OA is congruent to OC from 1 and 2. So what does mean? Point O is on the right bisector of CA also. We have drawn student in the construction the right bisector of two sides AB and BC. So he is saying point O is on the bisector. So it's mean if we draw the bisector on the side AC, then it will also equal to them. So side OA is congruent to OC also. But point O is on the right bisector of AB and BC. But O was on the bisector of line segment AB and BC. So it's mean all three right bisectors are meeting to each other at point O. So we can say since their meeting point is one point, so we can say in other word, yes, the right bisector of all three sides are concurrent. This was actually the definition of a concurrent, where two or more than two lines meet to each other. This point is known as a concurrent point. So here we are saying yes, all three right bisectors of a triangles are concurrent at single point O.